Beyblade is a sport enjoyed by many fans for a variety of reasons. The most notable reason and the reason why Beyblade has gained so much popularity is due to the unique gimmicks of each Beyblade release. So far not many gimmicks for Beyblade X have been developed as we are still early into the generation, but taking inspiration from previous Beyblade's design, I came up with 10 different gimmicks I want to see in Beyblade X. Starting with the first gimmick, which is fairly simple, is a mode change gimmick. This gimmick is very common in Beyblades as it's not hard to implement and can be done on any Beyblade. For example, let's look at Leon Claw, where it's both defensive and aggressive. A simple mode change gimmick would be to do something like Fang Leon, where there can be a separate metal piece to change the shape to be defensive or aggressive. Another example is to combine Dran Sword and Dran Dagger to create a blade where you can interchange with Barrage or Smash Attack. The mode change gimmick is very simple to adapt and would allow more unique blades in the meta, and the good news is that the mode change gimmick might be coming soon for the CX line of Beyblade X. The next gimmick is an iconic gimmick from Metal Fight and Burst, and that is the Spin Steel gimmick. Since we have a left spin Beyblade, the opportunities for spin equalization is already prevalent, however the attack type Dragoon is not the greatest for equalization. So I suggest a new left spin Beyblade that will feature the gimmick of spin stealing. This gimmick can start small with just a rounded off left spin Beyblade, but then get more advanced adding rubber onto the blade. The only problem with this gimmick is that it can get too strong for the meta, which is why I suggest this blade to be fairly light so that we don't get infinite stamina battles like previous generations. Another iconic gimmick is the gimmick to change spin direction. In Beyblade, right spin and left spin Beyblade exist, but every now and then a dual spin Beyblade gets introduced. The dual spin gimmick has been iconic in Beyblade since the release of Torch Pegasus, being followed by Gravity Perseus and later Legend Spriggan. If TT were to adapt this gimmick, I imagine it will be like World Spriggan, where the blade is flippable to reveal a right and left spin direction. This gimmick might also happen sometime next year, as the first left spin was released in 2024. But that's just my speculation. The next gimmick has been present in a lot of different Beyblades, and that is the gimmick of free spin. The free spin gimmick allows the blade or other part to spin freely, providing more stamina, defense, and good equalization. Okay, so while writing the script for the video, news about a free spinning gimmick Beyblade Silver Wolf has been revealed, so let's talk about it. The Silver Wolf blade has a free spinning plastic piece that can be used to deflect its opponents. I don't know how useful it will be in battle, as I expected the actual metal blade to be free spinning, but it's cool we have a free spinning Beyblade. Going over the more obscure gimmicks, I want to mention the spring-loaded gimmick introduced by God Valkyrie. The spring-loaded gimmick is when there is a spring located in the layer that allows it to push away Beyblades. However, in the Burst generation it was pretty ass, as it barely worked and just made the Beyblade horrible. But there is a way TT can fix this, and that is to prioritize the gimmick in where it works. Using the Valkyrie 1 core, the spring-loaded gimmick was very useful for stamina combos, but only stamina combos. This is important as TT advertised the gimmick for attack types, when they work better for stamina and defense types. If TT were to do this gimmick in Beyblade X, I would want it to be a defense type gimmick, as I believe it would be most beneficial. Now, before you get mad at me, I need you guys to hear me out. The Quest Driver had a very goofy gimmick with a suction cup combined with a bearing to create a Beyblade that stays in one spot. Now, this gimmick was clowned for how terrible it was, and to be honest, it was never supposed to be something that's good competitively and just funny to have. In Beyblade X, I think the suction cup gimmick can actually be useful, or at least work better than it did in Burst. Firsty, the bit would keep the Beyblade in the middle and be prone to extreme finishes, which is one positive. Also, depending on where you launch the Beyblade, there can be some technique involved in staying away from opponents and outspinning them. It's unlikely that the suction cup gimmick will return, but if it ever did, it would be very goofy. So far, Beyblade X features a 3-piece system composed of the blade, ratchet, and bit. However, as the series evolves, I anticipate that we will eventually see bits that combine directly with ratchets, much like how the disc and driver were fused in Beyblade Burst. This potential evolution would not only enhance the modularity of the system but also pave the way for the introduction of more intricate and diverse gimmicks, particularly for the bits. One of the key reasons for this anticipated change is the opportunity it provides to incorporate more complex gimmicks like the beloved Final Drive and Survive gimmicks seen in previous series. These gimmicks were notable for their ability to dynamically alter a Beyblade's performance during battle, switching modes or enhancing stability and endurance in ways that could turn the tide of a match. Such performance-changing capabilities always brought an extra layer of excitement and strategy to battles, making them thrilling to both play and watch. Introducing these kinds of combined bit and ratchet mechanisms would not only expand the strategic options available to players but also elevate the overall spectacle of Beyblade X battles. Overall, the introduction of bits that integrate with ratchets would represent a significant step forward for Beyblade X, making it possible to bring back some of the most exciting and innovative gimmicks from past generations in a new, more integrated form. Diving back into the more complex gimmicks, one of the most exciting concepts would be a spring-loaded bit mechanism similar to the shot driver. The shot driver is unique because it enables the Beyblade to jump up and down within the stadium, adding an unpredictable and dynamic element to battles. This mechanic not only enhances the intensity of the clashes but also provides a visually captivating experience, making each match feel even more extreme and action-packed, especially within the high-stakes environment of Beyblade X. For this gimmick to work effectively in Beyblade X, to better fit the design and scale of the Beyblade X system, the spring mechanism in the actual shot bit could be adjusted to feature a shorter spring compared to the original shot driver. The current shot driver is relatively tall, which, while effective, can sometimes make the Beyblade feel top-heavy or awkward in its movements. One gimmick that was really cool in Burst was the Chozi Awakening gimmick. Essentially, the gimmick is that at a hard launch a certain amount of blades would protrude and add burst stoppers on the bay. This gimmick is also similar to the limit break system where a battle activation gimmick is present but incorporated differently with the click count taken into place. Other battle activation gimmicks are Archer Hercules Stamina Wings, Shelter Regulus Defense Claws, and Dread Bahamut's Perfect Circle. A battle activation gimmick in Beyblade X would be interesting, although I'm interested in seeing how TT adapts it. Okay, so along with Silver Wolf, we got some images of Samurai Saber where it looks to have some sort of battle activation gimmick, so that's cool. The final gimmick I will talk about will most likely be adapted in some way or another, and that is the electric-powered bits. In Beyblade Burst, 2 electric drivers were introduced, Hybrid and Ignition Dash. Both the drivers had the same gimmick of speeding up, with the exception of Ignition Dash being able to change rotation. The electric gimmick will probably be implemented in Beyblade X as electric drivers would sell really well and that it makes a lot of sense within the Beyblade X system. In the Burst gen I wasn't too fond of the eclectic drivers mainly because they looked really weird and didn't like how they looked on the bay, but I believe TT can find some way to make it look good. That's all I have for this video. Comment down below what gimmick you want to see implemented in Beyblade X. It would be appreciated to like and subscribe as I hope to reach 5K subs by the end of the year. I also have membership options for more support and I will see you all next time.